What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Meh of Pig and Meh here. So, recently, Konami decided to release a Duelist Pack Fire, so of course, I'm excited. Why? Because all of the decks in it are things that I like and or would like to update and build myself. So, after taking some time to acquire the cards and do some testing, I decided that I would present to you guys one of the decks I've been working on. Of course, the old standby, the deck I brought the channel back with, Salamangreat. I opted for this one because it's kind of my favorite of the three options, and being that this is my birthday weekend, I wanted to play one of my favorite decks ever printed. So, let's go with the BS and show you guys my updated Salamangreat deck profile. Although before we get into this, if you're curious how it's been testing, over the weekend at one of the locals I played at, I managed to get top 4 with this deck. But the next day I didn't do as hot, so I still got some work to do, but overall I think this list is pretty solid. So I'm going to start out with the newest cards we play. 3 copies of Fire and 1 copy of Weasel. From the Duelist Pack Fire, in regards to main deck monsters, these 2 are the best ones. The only thing I gotta make note is that this card will make you extra fucking lose to Drone Lockbird, which is really, really infuriating. But when they don't droll you, it's insane, because it's basically just a better debug. Because you can summon this, search Gazelle, immediately link it off, and get going. Another fantastic card to search with this, if you already got the Gazelle in line, is Weasel here. I was using this guy all weekend because his ability to net a card out of your hand and just act as a free extender is great. You only really need one, does all the work. And more often than not, it's finally the time for me to use Mirage Stalio's bounce effect, because usually I'll just bounce a fire back to my hand. But yeah. Overall, from the newest cards for your main deck, those guys are absolutely new and necessary. Now, aside from that, it's pretty standard affair. You max out on Spinny because he's really, really important. Foxy's great. You could play 3, but I just opted for 2. I think I've heard people wanting to play 3 of this, but I think 2 is just fine. I'm not opting to play Prosperity. No, not Prosperity. Desires, because I'm very unlucky with that card. But with these ratios, you can easily get away with playing that as your 39th and 40th card in this deck. But yeah. Also, the reason these are all common is because people couldn't read my original copies, and I just got tired of them picking them up. Alright, for Salamangreat support spells and traps. 3 circle, 1 will, 1 sanctuary, and 1 rage and 1 roar. I will make note, I was testing charge for a while, but I ended up cutting it from the main deck, but opted to move it to the side deck. If your local is real heavy in Runic, then I advise playing this card, because if you're like me, they'll just hit your Gazelle and then you'll just get super salty. But yeah, all these cards are great. Although now with the amount of monster search that you have, I probably recommend holding your circles for if they try to nib you, because that's really, really fucking annoying. Alright, now on to kind of your support, non-solid related cards. 3 copies of Signet Mining. I did not have a lower rarity, so I guess gotta use the secret. Hand traps, I'm playing 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Droll and Lockbird, 2 Nibiru, 3 copies of Infinite Permanence. And the reason I'm playing the nibs in the main board is because I am main decking 3 fucking copies of Crossout Designator. This card and this card ruin your day. So I want every means humanly possible to try and stop that. And even though I usually don't see it, I don't care. I want these. With these ratios, you could also play like a Veiler or any other hand trap that you're worried about that could exist within your local area, but I've just opted to keep it simple. But those are things you can do. But yeah, Nib and Droll absolutely, completely Shrek your day. And the last card in the deck, and probably my favoriteest card, 3 copies of Book of Moon. Yeah, this card's fantastic. I may try to test Eclipse, see if that's any better, but this card at least has the benefit of not being able to be Ash Blossomed. Alright, now onto the extra deck. Pretty standard. Running 3 Balinks. Personally opt in for 2 Sunlight Wolf. I don't use them as often, but you could easily get away with playing 3. 1 Heat Leo. I kind of like it. Its shuffle is cool, and it can work into the combos in some way. 2 copies of the new guy, Raging Phoenix. This guy is insane. He makes absolutely inhuman value out of your wills in your rage, and he is a sublime card. Really glad that Konami made him. And then 1 copy of the Mirage Stallion. You finally use his bounce effect. Alright, now to round out the rest of your extra deck, 1 Link Decoder. You'll probably always want to play 1 generic Link 1. But the card I'm kind of opting to maybe drop would be 1 copy of Heat Soul. You get locked into fire, so you kind of actually can't technically make this card if you're using the level 2 guy. And if you get Nib token, you want something to get rid of the token. So I may replace this with the Digust or with a Nightmare Phoenix. I'm not sure. 1 copy of Splash Mage, 1 copy of Update Jammer, 1 copy of Transcode Talker, and 1 copy of Access Code Talker. These are the other most important cards in the deck because you will make these every time. In fact, you could get away with playing 2 of this if you wanted. Alright. So I'm not going to show the side deck, but I'll probably show you guys some small combos. So let's get that set up. Alright, for those curious, here's about a basic combo to give you an idea of what fire can do. So you can normal fire, get Gazelle. Fire can then link into Balinks, and because it's a Salamangreat, it can trigger your Gazelle. And then from here, of course, you chain block where you get your Sanctuary, and then afterwards your Gazelle will dump the Spinny. The Spinny and the Gazelle will turn into a Mirage Stallion. The Mirage Stallion will get you your Jack. Your Jack you want to link into a Balinks. 2 Balinks can turn into a Sunlight Wolf. Putting 1 Balinks back, turn into that. And then your Sunlight Wolf can proc, get you your Gazelle back. Hey ho, here we go. Turn 4, into the new guy. Play your Sanctuary, Sanctuary Summon, new guy, Search Roar. There you go. That is the most bread and butter combo possible with just a singular card. Okay, let's say you're a savage and you just open Gazelle because you're a king. So here's a cool play. You can summon fire, you can search Weasel, you can take fire, you can turn it into your Balinks. Obviously you chain block with the Gazelle to get the Sanctuary. And then the Gazelle dips the Spinny. And the Spinny and the Gazelle turn into the Mirage Stallion. Same old, same old. Then from here, you could turn those guys into Sunlight Wolf. And because you have, 2 salads with different names in your graveyard at least, you can special your Weasel. And then your Sunlight Wolf will trigger, get you your Gazelle back. And then from here, you could turn those 2 into Heat Leo. And then your Weasel can trigger, put itself at the bottom, special summon the fire onto the opponent's field. And then you could turn these 2 into this guy. Your Mirage Stallion can get you fire back to your hand. You then, of course, play the field spell. You Sanctuary Summon. You search... Oh, wrong card. Yeah, search your negate. And there you have it. Basically, off of 2 cards, you can get follow-up and lose absolutely no resources. Alright, so just to round this out, because it'd probably be pretty fun, I figure I can include a test hand because, well, all lines lead the same, so let's show you guys a realistic idea of what you're going to expect. Take your deck, cut it, and draw your 5-card hand. It's called by Foxy, Spinny, Imperm, Fire. Alright, so you have a lot of options here. You could go with the Fire to do that play line, or you could try to do Foxy because you already opened a Spinny to do some cool stuff. So you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to summon the Foxy, use its effect, see what I get. I guess I could take a Jaguar. Alright, now from here, I'm going to use Spinny, boost the Foxy. Use the Spinny to make Mirage Stalio. Stalio effect. Send the Foxy to special summon a copy of Fire. Use the Fire. Search the boy that needs to go to 3 already, Gazelle. Alright. Now from here, you can turn Fire into Balinx. Balinx, Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, Gazelle. Get your field spell. Wherever the hell it is. There we go. Alright, so off your Gazelle dump, trying to think, what could you possibly do? Probably the safest bet here, since you already used that, and Spinny, would likely to be the Jaguar. Because then you can turn Gazelle into Balinx. Two Balinxes into Sunlight. You can return for the Jaguar engrave to then get the Gazelle back to your hand. And then from here, you can make the big old raging motherfucker himself. This guy, use your field spell, turn it into another copy, search your copy of Roar, then you can set 3 and pass. Pretty strong. Obviously, the whole time you had the called by in this scenario for if they ever did droll you, so you don't lose to that. It's not much you can do if they try to nib you, but if they don't, you end up on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards and an entire fully loaded graveyard to do whatever. So that's pretty good in my book. And there you have it, my updated Salamangreat Deck Profile. If you like what you see, make sure to tell me down below. Any changes, comments, opinions, you know, all that jazz. Maybe a happy birthday, I don't care. But yeah, this is Meh, Pig and Meh, signing out.